Can we do this? This is so funny. You can do this.
Should we get some jokes going or something?
I know.
No? Okay. I'll mute myself.
Hello. Hello. Hawa, what's up?
Hi. Hello. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Oh, this looks like a different place.
Good, Ruthie? So before I even get started, I'll just remind everyone, please put your Zoom on mute so that we get to hear from our performers and not from cats and dogs and all sorts of other things coming through our homes. Welcome, good evening to the fourth Bushwick Book Club chapter in Oakland. It is our fourth performance, and we have been inspired tonight by The Hidden Life of Trees by Peter Wohlleben. The Bushwick Book Club, and we're really lucky tonight because we have the original founder of the original Bushwick Book Club in Bushwick, Oakland, Bushwick, Brooklyn, which is very similar to Oakland, with us here tonight. But we are a book club that is loosely formed of singers, songwriters, musicians of all kinds who read a common book in preparation for a sharing. This is really our book club meeting that you're joining us for tonight, where we share songs that we've written inspired by, in some way, the book that we've read together. It's been really a great trip over this while. Mia Pixley, who you can see in her tile, there she is waving, is the founder of this chapter of the book club, and she is our leader, organizer, musician, everything extraordinaire. And so we are all very indebted to Mia, as well as the team who put this show together or did a lot of the production work for this show, which is me and Nikki Bonsell, where I can't see you, but wave, there you go. Ruthie, Yoko, and Samantha, who is also our tech Zoom guru tonight, really running the sound for us. So thank you to all of you. And we'll hear from Susan in a minute when she does her performance. But before that, I just want to share a little reflection about the book and then another poem to invite us into The Hidden Life of Trees. Peter Wohlleben really invites us into a life of trees that is hidden from us in his hypnotizing book. And through this meditative prose, it's a really hypnotizing book. We enter the forest to see inside a world that we maybe thought that we knew. We know that trees are living beings, but we don't always treat them as such. Beings that need not just the care of the planet, but of the community, theirs and ours, to survive. Perhaps sometimes we see each other in this way too. Perhaps we have to look to the trees, and by looking at them, we can develop the vision to behold each other as the full beings that we are. To slow down enough to see the precision, the complexity, the pathways and pace of the other, to fully humanize our fellows. Trees do not live as we do. They are slower to defend themselves, slower to grow, but their roots dwarf ours by centuries. They each have one experience of 100 years, not split between 4 generations. I think in some ways that concept is so timely for us as we think about living through a pandemic that is a once a century event, right? It's 100 years ago that people went through something like we are going through with COVID-19 and had to figure out how to remake their lives. Trees don't get a chance to produce a new generation that quickly. So their experience of 100 years is still living inside them as we have to look to different generations to connect to the experiences that precede us and come after us. We wanted to also share the words of Maya Angelou and her amazing poem, When Great Trees Fall. You know, when we first planned this show, we had no idea that the revolution would be televised or Zoomized, and that we would see in almost real time one of the many brutal murders that takes place in this country of people of color, Black people specifically, by the police. And George Floyd's murder and Breonna Taylor's murder and so many other murders have galvanized our country. And then on top of it, we just lost one of the greatest trees too, but one in particular, C.D. Vivian and John Lewis, who went home or started his journey home today. So this poem, When Great Trees Fall, that we wanted to read to sort of mark the moment that we are in, has an even greater significance now that we've lost John Lewis. So I'm going to read this for you. When Great Trees Fall by Maya Angelou. When great trees fall, rocks on distant hills shudder. Lions hunker down in tall grasses, and even elephants lumber after safety. When great trees fall in forests, small things recoil into silence, their senses eroded beyond fear. When great souls die, the air around us becomes light, rare, sterile. We breathe briefly. Our eyes briefly see with a hurtful clarity. Our memory, suddenly sharpened, examines, gnaws on kind words unsaid, promised walks never taken. Great souls die and our reality, bound to them, takes leave of us. Our souls, dependent on their nurture, now shrink, wizened. Our minds, formed and informed by their radiance, fall away. We are not so much maddened as reduced to the unutterable ignorance of dark, cold caves. And when great souls die, after a period, peace blooms, slowly and always irregularly. Spaces fill with a kind of soothing electric vibration. Our senses, restored, never to be the same, whisper to us. They existed. They existed. We can be and be better, for they existed. Let's take a moment to take a breath together. And I present to you Hawa, who will be our first performer tonight.
Hey, Kyla, that was such a beautiful and poetic introduction. I almost cried. So, so the song that I was inspired to write is called, wait, am I muted? No, I'm not. Okay, so the song that I was inspired to write is called Fallen Trees. And given that we've all been quarantining for the last 4 or more months, I wanted to capture a little bit of nature and bring it back for us this evening. So I shot a little video that I'm going to play with the song. So I will go ahead and share my screen. And what is this?
I felt the shattered silence thickening with fear. Ear to the earth, trying to hear what they've been saying. It's not lost on me the way we hold the vacant hands who once we loved, and all the fallen trees who gave us life but told us nothing of its want. Whispers, 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 haunting whispers. Whispers, 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 haunting whispers. This great tall tree of a man, if it could happen to the sky now, this great tall tree of a man.
Thank you. That was pretty short.
You can unmute to applaud, please.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
It's short, but I hope that you all enjoyed it. And a huge thanks to for putting this together.
Thank you so much, Hawa. That was beautiful. I just will remind everybody to put on speaker view and to mute yourselves when you are not applauding. Next up in our lineup is the amazing Susan Hwang, who is the original founder of the original Bushwick Book Club. We're thrilled to have her with us again. She was here at our first performance, and now because of Zoom and remote life, she's able to be with us for another show. Welcome to Susan.
Thank you so much, Kyla. It's funny because you say the original founder of the original Bushwick Book Club. And I'm like, I don't know how original I am. I feel like I'm a different person now. I don't know. But anyway, it's really great to be here with you guys. And that was such a beautiful song. And I haven't heard Hawa play since the last time I was in Oakland, but I was totally blown away then, and I'm blown away now. And there was such a lovely intro and a beautiful poem. And it's just great to be here. And the book is beautiful too. And like you said, it makes you think about trees, and it makes you think about, you know, our own life cycles and what's contained within them, and it makes you think about communication and what it takes to grow. And that's one thing that I was struck with in the book, is that everything informs the tree, not just the tree getting the resources that it wants, always, sunlight, water, nutrients, but also the limitations when it doesn't get what it wants naturally. That also informs its own growth and evolution, and teaches the tree like how to survive. And it makes me think about limitations, and it makes me think about Bushwick Book Club and limitations, and how it kind of turns the traditional definition of limitations on its head, because it seems like even, that's my cat trout, it seems like even limitations are a different avenue for growth. And so the limitations of the deadline and the source material, it's just a different avenue for creation, which you guys are all experiencing all the time. And I'm glad I can be here in this show. Okay.
I don't say it. Kill protozoa, kill protozoa, kill protozoa. I don't want a tree to be free of mosquitoes. Society, who you are in relation to not just the road, not just the road, but to focus to pests, to the wild world, to the light, and to the darkness. Reaction to nutrients, to the limits is longevity, youthful indulgence, premature death from stress or mismanagement, just a reaction. Resources for you as to the limitations. When you're that age, it all forms you, not just the resources, the limitations. When you're any age, it's everything that forms you, the resources, limitations, the resources, limitations. They say members require the most care. Others look, a lot of white people, off to college and still their parents' health insurance, but a tree is still a child, past the age of 21, growing slowly. living on the trickle side, drinking every drop and the lag, every drop and the lag go, let go, let
Thank you. Drop and the leg.
Thank you so much, Susan. That was
Thank you,
awesome.
Bushwick Book Club Oakland.
And thanks for joining us. I hope it's not the last time. Next up is the fabulous Yoko, who is not only an amazing musician, but also did all of the beautiful tree illustrations and author illustrations for each of our flyers. She's a key clutch member of our team. So let's hear it for Yoko.
Kyla, thank you. I just want to say another person who started Bushwick Book Club Oakland with us is our friend Dibs. I'm not sure if he's here today, but he wrote a backing track. We've been collaborating for the last probably, I don't know, a couple months on writing a song every week together. So this is one in a series of songs we've done together, and I'm going to perform it for you guys. This is the debut of a song that we just wrote. Dibs did the synthesizers, and I am going to play guitar and sing. All right, let's see if I can do this. The trees are shaping me. Their energies are tracing me.
so much, Yoko.
Yoko rocks!
Team, thank you. Thank you for unmuting yourselves to give a big up to Yoko. Just a reminder to please keep yourself muted during the performers and also to use speaker view so you can see who it is who's performing for you. I will also just point you back, and I know it will be in the chat. We have our donation page. This is a free show and all of our shows are free. We have some administrative costs, especially when we're in IRL, is that what the children say about in real life? So we appreciate any donations. $1 is fine, $50 is amazing. It doesn't matter, but it's there if you so choose. If this is something that's turned you on and lit you up tonight, and we'll be bringing you more of them. And I think that Ruthie's gonna put that in the chat for us. Next up is Jaren, who is treating us to some interpretive dance in the beginning. He's gonna give us a great song tonight. Take it away, Jaren.
Woo! Okay, thank you so much, Kyla. Thank you, Mia, for organizing this. And thanks all the other musicians for being here. I'm going to be super brief because my song is kind of like a tree. It's a little bit slow-mo. I just want to dedicate this to my ensembles and artists, friends that are here in the audience. Okay, this song is about trees. I read this book, The Hidden Life of Trees, and Overstory at the same time, and just had like a tree-centric springtime, and I really was taken by how trees give so much. And in particular, how like an oak tree will drop 10,000 acorns just to have one tree grow, and how fruit trees will make their fruit as sweet as possible so other things can have it. I'm going to try and sing this with the backing track. Here we go. No one can be abandoned anywhere, ever. For every blade of grass and every leaf and stem is a full-out, four-alarm symphony of mayhem. No one can be without sweetness anywhere, ever. For all the fruits on the tree limb are competing to be eaten. Oh, so blessed are we. I confess I need a reminder sometimes, lest I be forgetful of life. No one can be without hope anywhere, ever. For the oak tree drops 10,000 acorns, 10,000 seeds, so that just one can be born and become a tree. Woo. No one can be without power anywhere. For your attention is precious and potent and prepared to pop off at any given moment. Woo. Oh, so blessed are we. I confess I need a reminder sometimes, lest I be forgetful of love. Woo. Oh, let's give them a praise dance to let them know we're fine. They've got to know we'll be carrying the light. The light we were given, the light from your heart, the light from the ocean, from the dark, that light from nothing that became something, the light that says, wake up, let's go, wake up, let's go, wake up, let's go, wake up, let's go. Wake up, let's go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good job. Let's go. Reminds of, oh, wow. Well, thank you, Jaren. That was really, really, really beautiful. For those of you who've just logged on, welcome. Thank you for being here with us. We are really excited to have you. Remember to please mute yourself and choose speaker view so you can see the amazing Byron, who is up next to grant us another special moment with his song.
Hello, my name is Byron Hogan, and I'm living in Hayward right now, Hayward, California, and I'm just so excited to be part of this project. So I wrote a song based on this book, of course, The Hidden Life of Trees, and I actually learned a lot during this book that I didn't know. One of the most fascinating chapters to me was the one where they were talking about moss, because I never knew why moss grew on one side of a tree, and I felt like I learned so much about plants in general without having to anthropomorphize them. Although the song that I did today, I kind of did that. The song is called Slowly Does It, and it's based around the chapter that talks about keeping the young trees from growing up too quickly so that they can have a stronger life later on. So I wrote a song from the perspective of a mother tree talking to a seed before it has breached the earth. So I hope you enjoy. This is Slowly Does It.
returning to soil and feeling your
Yeah, nice.
Thank you, Byron. We are deep in the hidden life of trees. It is being made manifest. Thank you so much. Again, another reminder, speaker view, mute yourself if you would. And welcome to our next performer, Ellie Barber.
Hello, my name's Ellie. My music name is Ollella, and this is a song I wrote called Methuselah, which is the name for the oldest known tree in the world, which happens to reside in California, of course. And yeah, in the hidden trees, I was really struck by just these trees. There's so much that we don't know that's going on in the background. And I'm also an environmental scientist by trade, and I'm always interested in kind of the juxtaposition between the rationality of science and the spirituality of nature. And so this song really speaks to kind of the spiritual nature. Methuselah is a tree that's 4,800 years old, which means that it was born 2800 AD, or BC, sorry. And it's a bristlecone pine, and so if anyone knows what a bristlecone pine looks like, you might catch some of the imagery in this song. But I hope you enjoy the tune.
Thank you so much, Ellie. Another
Oh,
amazing.
come here.
That was beautiful.
Thank you, Ellie.
Come here. Watch some
Alrighty.
video stuff.
If everyone except for Ariel and Lewis can mute themselves so we can hear another amazing tune. Welcome.
Thank you, everyone, for having us. This is Lewis Patzner. I'm Ariel Wang, Ariel Wang Band. And I gravitated towards, I think, I don't know, one of the more negative chapters of the book. It was the one about the trees that live in the that get planted by people and get planted in the parks and also on our streets, and how we think we're helping them grow by watering them a lot and by giving them all these nutrients, but they end up growing bigger and bigger and bigger until one day we decide it's just too much and then we stop. And since they didn't grow up with tree parents around them to nurture them and teach them about the harshness of life, they didn't really live in a natural environment where they have to come up against obstacles. And the ground that they're usually grown in is so compact that they have no way of reaching out to other, not just other trees of their own kind, but other plants and animals and fungi that help trees grow in the old growth forests. And that really spoke to me of I took it as a metaphor in a lot of ways of just how I think humans these days, you know, we're in our social bubbles and we don't reach out to other people. We're on social media. We don't reach out to people unlike us. You know, we need to be nurtured by reaching out to other people and not just people or animals or things that we think benefit us. We need to have all kinds. And we're, I think, just not really that great at it, especially these days. And so this song is about that, of trapping ourselves into these kind of gilded riches, where we're getting yes from everywhere, thinking it's a good thing, but then it ends up being our downfall in the long run.
Lewis. And
Yeah.
welcome to Margaret Jones, who will be treating us to the next tune. Margaret.
Hello, everybody. Like Ariel, I also like a good metaphor, and I was also drawn to some of the sadder, darker chapters of the book. And the one that spoke to me was the water pump chapter, where if a link of the forest falls away between the ocean and the inland oceans, the water cycle breaks down, and everybody ends up thirsty. So with that in mind, and then some of the imagery from the opening preamble where if the trees are planted too far apart, second growth forests got it wrong. It feels very much like we're living that, not just in 2020, but in the years leading up to it, where we, maybe are not as close as we could be, and we lose something about nurturing each other from that distance. So this is a song about that. It's called Root Habits. Dug our heels down in the mud, turned our faces to the drying sun. Too far to touch and just far enough to miss the shade of another one. And morning breaks a ruby sun, prodigal clouds and bad omens, restless soil and dry creek beds. Let's break the ground that we left for dead. If I dig enough, my love might reach you. If I dig enough, my love might reach you. Oh, how I wanna catch that rain. 2 years later, as the hills slid softly down, the weight of our mistakes on our drunken trunks, I used to think that I would stand on my own, but the soil's too soft for the wind bowing my crown. So I wrapped my roots down the rocks down there, a sentinel standing alone against nature. The ruby sun just laughed and said, she thinks I'm showing my age. If I dig enough, my love might reach you. If I dig enough, my love might reach you. Oh, how I wanna catch that rain. everybody.
Margaret. Next up is our own Cello Joe.
Hello, thank you.
Another
Kyla.
cello. Bushwick Book Club, we're a very cello-centric group here. We're led by our fearless cellist leader.
It seems like there's a lot of cellists on this show. Well, thanks for having me. I wrote a song that's based on chapter 22, which is called Hibernation. And it was something that I really was struck with by how I'd always kind of known about deciduous trees and evergreen trees and how deciduous trees lose their leaves starting in about midsummer all the way through the fall. So we call it fall because the trees are losing their leaves and the leaves fall. But I had never really thought about how that could be a strategy for survival. And when I read that, I thought, I got to write a song about this because I think as people, we also kind of hold on to stuff like our thoughts and our beliefs about what is right, what is wrong, and just negative thought patterns, and that can negatively impact us. And we could learn a little lesson from the strategy that the deciduous trees have figured out to weather the storm. So this one's called Trees Don't Scream. The wind blows through be able to let go of our beliefs and let the wind blow through? Or will we hold on to these beliefs even if they're not true? Seasons change and we grow anew. We gotta change our form to survive the coming storm. Gotta change our form to survive the coming storm. Gotta change our form to survive this coming storm. Gotta change our form to survive this coming storm.
Yeah, that was awesome. Good job.
The trees, and so we are too. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is Kevin Shaw with both music and visuals for us. Take it away, Kevin.
Hello. Thank you, Bushwick Book Club Oakland, for having me here. It's great to be here. I love this community so much. This has been so dope. Shout out to all the artists. And Susan and Mia for organizing and starting all this. It's beautiful. Thank you. The chapter that hit me in this book the hardest was called In the Realm of Darkness. It's about soil. It really made me reflect on some helpful things. And there's this passage that hit me the hardest that is something to the effect of, in one handful of soil, there's more life forms than there are people on the planet. And that just really, it fucked me up, really, in perspective. So thinking about that and reflecting on just how there are certain things that have such gravity, such power, such impact, yet we may not be able to see them, may not be able to understand them, underestimate them, maybe overlook them entirely, yet they're very, very real. So I was thinking about that, and then also I was thinking about, you know, trees don't need us as people at all. They don't need most animals, but they need the soil. So that's what this piece is about. And then I think Mia is going to put the lyrics to this piece in the chat because it might help. You'll see why. And I guess lastly, this is the first time I've performed musically since the 6th grade. So yeah, shout out to Angelou Elementary School. Band, clarinet. So let's explore that too. Here we go.
Yay! Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. Hi, everybody. I'm Nikki. I've been putting everybody's links in the chat. If you have been moved today, and how can you not be, go support somebody, everybody. And I'm going to take over emceeing for a second because Kyla is up next. And she's going to be singing a track that I, and Samantha Margaret co-wrote. We were inspired by, we're really feeling like the long distance relationship that the trees have. And writing this together and being separate from each other was really meta about, yeah, like writing long distance from each other was slow, and yeah, there's slowness and patience, and yeah, I think Kyla will take it away.
My technology works. This pulse keeps silent and certain and strong. It takes a long time. When it's our time, amigo. I know you're sent from miles and miles away, intoxicating before I inhale you, my love. Though the signals move so slowly, the message is always the same. This pulse keeps silent, uncertain, and strong. It takes a long time. When it's our time, amigo. It takes a long time. When it's our time, amigo. I've been holding all the weight of distance till the day I set it in your hands, oh my love. Close enough to feel your pulse. We share roots we don't need to understand. Our time is time forgiven and time set free. It takes a long time. When it's our time, amigo. Baby, you know that I'm yours. It takes a long time. When it's our time, amigo. Oh, you know that I'm yours. Roots are meant to meet and tangle. We are meant to breathe as one. Roots are meant to meet and tangle. We are meant to breathe as one. Roots are meant to meet and tangle. We are meant to breathe as one. Our time is time forgiven and time set free. It takes a long time. When it's our time, amigo. Baby, you know that I'm yours. It takes a long time. When it's our time, amigo.
Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you to all the performers for the dancing, to Mia. We put her info up in the chat because she's an amazing musician in her own right, even though she didn't write for us tonight. thank you for coming. Please jump on our mailing list so we can let you know when we do this the next time, what our next book will be. We'll take suggestions for books if anybody thinks of something wonderful. Our donation page is up there in the chat as well. Thank you to Susan for being here with us tonight, and thank you for everyone who made this possible. And thank you for coming.
Thank you for hosting.
Yay, thank you. Hi.
Great effort, guys.
Thank you.
This is when we should be like having cocktails and stuff, but
We are.
Drink.
Yeah. That was great, y'all. Wonderful.
Cocktails next time.
Yes.
Kyla, thank you for hosting. You did a great job.
Wonderful job.
Yeah.
Beautiful prologue. Yeah, I loved the prologue, Kyla, and the beautiful song was awesome. All.
I've been wanting to share with you Neil all this time, but I was like, don't mess up this time.
I need to see it again, hear it again. Oh, we're recording this, right? I guess we can stop the recording.
Yes, we can stop the recording now.
Really? I don't know. Okay, I will.
Thank you, Ruthie. Great job letting people in. Sorry, I was a spaz as usual.
Oh, you're fine. Totally. Okay, stop recording.